yesterday we saw a mild correction, but we were able to defend 21,400. Today we have slipped below that. It seems like we have not given much of those gains, so the market is kind of taking a breather over here. And what's your expectation? Is this kind of consolidation desirable at this point, given the kind of movement that we have seen in across the board in the last couple of weeks?
Good morning, Suyash. Good morning, Amit, and good morning to all the viewers as well. So yes, Nifty, if you look at the options data, 21,500 is where the highest open interest is in calls. Whereas on the put side, highest open interest was at 21,400, followed by 21,300 and 21,200. So if you look at the options data, there are multiple supports on the downside, but the resistance is very, very strong at 21,500. So in case if at all Nifty is able to move past 21,500, then max upside that we can see is 21,600. But on the downside, we still have room till 21, between 21,200 to 300. So that is somewhere around 21,250 is what we should be testing. Now, Nifty has seen a huge rally, and for this particular up move, for this trend to continue, it is very, very important that some cool off, some consolidation does occur in Nifty. Otherwise, the trend will not be sustainable. So, this is a healthy sign that we are looking at a cool off. 21,250 is where we should be looking at buying opportunities again. Eventually, this uptrend has a target of 22,000. So, stay bullish. Longer term is still intact. But on the downside, 21,250 is where we should be expecting Nifty in a couple of days.
All right. And Avni, what's the view on the banking pack? Nifty Bank before yesterday's fall had given returns of about 8% month to date in December. But we are seeing some bit of a weakness set in for the banking pack. It was down 0.5% yesterday, is in fact down about 0.4% this morning, below the 47,700 mark. So what are the support and resistance levels you are tracking on the banking pack?
So, Suyash, again on Bank Nifty, if you notice, I mean, last week when Bank Nifty did cross 48,000, yet the highest open interest continued to be at 48,000 call, which means that the call writers held on to their position. And what we are looking at is a downside trend on Bank Nifty from the resistance of 48,000. The support stands at 47,400. Yes, it's weaker of the two indices. So we should be seeing 47,400 very soon on Bank Nifty, and resistance stands very strong at 48,000.
Sugar stocks are buzzing. What's the story there?
We had an erratic rainfall. The government curbed the direction of sugar molasses towards the production of ethanol way back in October. They reversed the order, and yesterday sugar stocks shot up almost 8 to 10% in yesterday's trade. Though today they are probably witnessing a little correction. The ministry has basically allowed the juice as well as B-heavy molasses to be directed towards the produce of ethanol. Ethanol is basically used as a green fuel apart from anything else. Now, the decision to curb it was because of an erratic rainfall, and we needed the sugar in the middle of heightened food inflation.
And there was a shortage of sugar stocks.
Yeah, so, and there was a food inflation problem during that time. So there was a curb at that time, but that curb has been removed. Now, fuel retailers had floated tenders worth 8.25 billion towards ethanol production in the current season as of November 1st. And about a quarter of that production would come from the from sources that come from molasses and sugarcane juice. Now, today, of course, there's a correction. Of course, there was a jump of 8 to 10% yesterday.
I think they're all in the green now, Amit. The rally is well and truly on.
Yeah, a little bit, not as much as it was yesterday, the jump that we saw yesterday. Avani, do you think this is temporary, or can we expect an extended rally when it comes to sugar stocks?
Because Avani, we have not seen any recovery also. I think the order initially came in place on December 5. We saw big correction from there on. Yesterday the recovery has started, but we are still a far distance away from that December 5 price. So that does leave room for us, right?
Yeah. A little correction today in
So,
some
Suyash,
stocks
in
though.
my view, I think on the sugar stocks, in spite of the ruling turnover and positive news, the stocks are not reacting as much. And if you look at the technical setup of most of the sugar stocks, including the ones that are there in the FNO segment, like Balrampur Chini and the likes of it, I think every pullback that is there, there is not much of a juice left in this particular sector. And in my view, I think if at all we see a small pullback, it's a good time to book out these stocks and get into momentum sectors. So, not looking at a very big upside, it can rally up to around 2 to 3%, and that is where one should book out positions in sugar stocks.